The purpose of this video is to give you more characteristics and description of what interpersonal communication is. First, let's start with the definition of interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is verbal and nonverbal interaction or behavior between people who are interdependent. This means the individuals are connected to one another. Therefore, the individuals are interdependent on each other. This means that what one person does impacts the other. This interdependency means that interpersonal communication is really about relationships. It occurs between a father and a son, two close friends, a couple in an intimate relationship, our families, and even work friendships. Disclosure is the amount of personal information that we provide to someone. In interpersonal relationships, we provide more disclosure. In impersonal relationships, we're much more hesitant to reveal our thoughts, our feelings, or our personal selves. But in true interpersonal relationships, we're much more transparent with how we feel, how we think, and what our emotions are. Interpersonal communication exists along a continuum ranging from relatively impersonal at one end to highly personal at the other end. For example, our communication with a waiter in a restaurant will generally be to the impersonal side. To communicate with our waiter, we're going to use generally accepted societal roles, rules, and messages. This is how society tells us we should behave. This is more impersonal communication. Hopefully, if we have a spouse, they exist on the other end of the continuum. We have the most interpersonally oriented relationship with them. In our close interpersonal relationships, we worry much less about what society tells us what we must do. We have our own social basis for our relationship, we have own rules around our relationship, and we share messages in the ways that interest us in our relationships. For example, often in interpersonal relationships, people will share inside meaning of words or inside jokes that no one else outside the relationship will understand. No two interpersonal relationships have the same amount of closeness, and that's why we say that these relationships exist on a continuum. For example, you have your very best friend, and then just a friend. Interpersonal relationships provide intrinsic rewards. This means that it provides happiness and satisfaction to our life. This means that it's not really about what you do or talk about, it's more about just being with each other. It's the relationship that matters. All of these characteristics work together to make interpersonal relationships irreplaceable. We can't replace one relationship with another.